What happened to Ben Stiller? I mean, the guy used to be cool. Welcome back. Be sure to subscribe. Let's get right to it. First topic, Joe Biden has officially been diagnosed with prostate cancer. Go ahead, take a look at the clip.
You had to put on your windshield wipers to get literally the oil slick off the window. That's why I and so damn many other people I grew up have cancer. And why can't for the longest time, Delaware had the highest cancer rate in the nation.
Whoops, wrong clip. That was Biden accidentally announcing he had cancer back in 2022. Here's a more recent clip.
So you're saying that certainly as he was
correct.
serving in the Oval Office, you believe that he knew that he had prostate cancer, and even potentially as he was running in 2020 before he assumed office?
Well, most likely he had prostate cancer for a long time, and aggressive prostate cancer such as this at age 80 grows over a long period of time. I mean, usually it takes from the first diagnosis of prostate cancer to spread would take 5 to 10 years, even in the most aggressive form. It's just, to me, it seems very surprising that the first diagnosis would be a metastatic diagnosis, especially Gleason 9 cancer, without, having his PSA history. I mean, I would like him to get to release the PSA history right now to see what it was.
So let me know if you think it's a little odd that they're just announcing this Biden news that he has cancer 2 days before Jake Tapper's new book comes out, exposing basically all the lies of the cover-up of the Biden administration. Of course, this is a timely release of the cancer news. Basically everybody out there, doctors, are claiming that if you have prostate cancer this bad to where it has metastasized to being bone cancer, essentially, yeah, you had to have the prostate cancer for at least 5 to 7 years. So pretty much Biden had cancer his whole presidency, and they kept running him out there, trying like Weekend at Bernie style, trying to, pretend he's sharp as a tack behind closed doors and he's healthy and he's the best Biden ever, folks. He was the best Biden ever. But yeah, basically it just goes to show you that the whole Biden administration, the whole tenure in office, the Democrats were basically just sending out an old person and pretty much elder abuse to Biden. That's what it basically comes down to, is like, wow, what was Dr. Jill thinking? Where was Dr. Jill in all this? Did she know that he had cancer? If she did, was she still just pushing him out there in front of people, not caring that her husband had cancer, like, aggressive cancer that's just taking over his body? I don't know. It's just crazy. Let me know what you think about this whole Biden cancer situation, whether you think like they're trying to just, take some heat off this new book. That's why they've waited so long to, announce it. Or did they just not even know? I find it very hard to believe that the President of the United States, who gets incredible health care every year and can basically just be looked at whenever, I find it hard to believe that they didn't know he had cancer. But all right, let's get to the next topic here. A Mexican Navy ship crashed into the Brooklyn Bridge. Go ahead, take a look at the clip. Yeah, who really knew that Mexico had a Navy? I had never heard of the Mexican Navy. Apparently, that's like a modern Mexican Navy ship. It looks like an old pirate ship from back in the day, like they basically came over. It's like the Mayflower, you know what I'm saying? But who knows? It's just, what a terrible look for Mexico, And I'm not even going to chalk this up to like, oh, well, is this some sort of conspiracy theory of like that tanker ship that ran into the Francis Scott Key Bridge. Now, this is just total blunder. You could tell the thing was basically going backwards for some reason. There was a tugboat trying to pull it out of there, but yeah, just a terrible look for the Mexican Navy and just Mexico in general. I mean, I feel bad. I don't want to, pile on the Mexicans for something like this, but yeah, when you crash into the Brooklyn Bridge like that, especially killing 2 people, I mean, unfortunately, unfortunately they perished and 17 injured too. Oh, God, it's just all around just total blunder. There's really no explanation for it other than just somebody screwed up royally and like, what else can you say, right? What else can you say? It's just, God, and it was just so public, too. You don't want a blunder of that magnitude to be so public and blasted out on every platform, 7,000 different times because so many people were filming. But yeah, condolences to the family of the people who were killed, and hopefully the people who were injured, get a full recovery, speedy recovery. But yeah, Mexico, come on, man. You got to be better than that, especially your Navy. But okay, let's get to the next topic. So Ben Stiller has apparently gone full libtard. Go ahead, take a look at the clip.
Yeah, I think we probably. I think everybody's going to have their own personal reaction, and it's impossible not to be aware of the fact that people feel this, that, oh, wow, there can be retribution from the government if you say something wrong. And that's really scary. So just to even be thinking that way is, but, of course, I'm aware of it. I think everybody's aware of it. And, certain people are just naturally more outspoken and always have been. And I've sort of had my own path with it. But right now, I think it's definitely a thing that people feel. And in a way, for me, it makes me think about it even more about, well, what do I really want to say and how do I really feel about something? And I think for artists in times like these, their creative energy really goes into expressing, what they feel. And there's a lot of amazing work that can come out of times like these that I hope we see.
Yeah. I kind of feel like we didn't get that in the first Trump. I don't know why. It's not that there wasn't great art in the first Trump, but it wasn't like during that 4 years you look back on that and feel about it the way that you might about the civil rights movement, or right, like all this like amazing like kind of music and movies. Why do you think that is?
Maybe the first time around it was more about Trump, and then this time around it's more about the realization that our country is really deeply divided. Yeah. And for me, it's less about the fact that he won by a majority and that many, many, many people are, willing to go down that road. And what is that? So that's actually something that it's always, I think, been about. And that divide is something that I think, you have to sort of wrestle with and acknowledge and figure out and look at your own point of view in that too, and your own prejudice towards, people who don't have the same point of view as you. But I also feel like there's a reality to to where we are, and we have to figure out how to go forward and be productive and call out, when the line is being crossed, which it seems like it's being crossed. I mean, January 6th, violent offenders being pardoned. That's a line,
Yeah, I mean, so what happened to Ben Stiller? I mean, the guy used to be cool. He was the one who did Tropic Thunder, perhaps one of the most unwoke movies of all time. And the guy pretty much went full libtard, Tropic Thunder taught us all that you never go full libtard, right? But yeah, apparently the guy, like, something happened to the guy where Trump broke his mind, or I don't know. He's basically gone full Rosie O'Donnell. He looks like Rosie O'Donnell. I mean, it's insane, He's got the glasses, he's got the gray hair, he's got the, just the full TDS. It's pretty crazy that just everybody in Hollywood, at some point in their career, unless you just completely get out of Hollywood, you have to be one of those people that just vanishes and we like, oh yeah, I haven't heard from that guy in 20 years. What happened to him? Yeah, he wanted nothing to do with Hollywood. That's what happened. But if it just goes to show you that if you spend your whole career in Hollywood and you want to keep, being relevant, that this is what you have to do. If you want to keep being relevant in Hollywood, you have to push some sort of Hollywood agenda that the elites want you to push. so that they will basically keep promoting you and allowing you to have a career. I believe that's what's going on here with Ben Stiller. The guy, like I said, the guy used to be cool. Let me know how you feel about Ben Stiller these days. I mean, obviously that is just terrible. But all right, let's get to the next topic. So a fertility clinic was bombed in Palm Springs. Go ahead, take a look at the clip.
Investigators and firefighters now combing through the massive debris field right now. This is a live look from Air 7 of that fertility clinic, and you can see there is extensive damage to this building. We believe the car was parked on the left side of your screen in the parking lot, but the force of it sent part of that building out into the street. That is actually Palm Canyon Drive on that side of the road. So this is the American Reproductive Centers.
Yeah, so this story basically just makes me think, like, why are people so impressionable these days? This kid, he's some anti-pro-life person. It's like, dude, like, where did you even get this type of information, you know? And like, how did you become this type of person? For me, I think it's social media is really what is causing these people to become so impressionable these days, because people are programmed to be followers from the start. It's like, oh, do you follow Drake? Well, of course I follow Drake. I gotta follow Drake. Everybody follows Drake. And then once you become like into that mindset of now I'm just a follower, because back in the day, people weren't really followers. They all had bullshit meters, and like, you know, people had to kind of pass the test of your bullshit meter, and nobody was just assumed to be some sort of like great, smart individual. It's like, oh yeah, okay, well, at least prove to me that you got something. Nowadays, it's just like everybody just assumes that like if somebody's saying something that they know, like they know, and then so it just causes and it facilitates people to be impressionable like this kid, and just they could be molded to be killers or bomb places. You know what I'm saying? I think it's all social media. It's these kids, they see stuff, and also a lot of people, they want to become famous doing these types of things, and like this is the way to instant fame. Like, oh yeah, he was the guy who bombed the fertility clinic, you know, or whatever. But it's pretty sickening that people out there are just so impressionable to where they could be easily manipulated to do these types of things. I mean, I don't know what the factors in this kid's life were, whether his parents were crazy or what, you know. I mean, that's always could be the case too, where the kids just hate their parents and they got to lash out. But yeah, to me, it seems like we have an epidemic of impressionable people that can just be molded into whatever you want them to be, because they really have no BS filter anymore, or they're just not set up to be like, you know, proactive thinkers in the sense of, is this guy bullshitting me? Is this guy bullshitting me? No, everybody just assumes like, yeah, this guy, he must know what's up, because like, oh, he probably's done his research and blah, you know. It's just the world we're living in, where there's so much information being thrown around that a lot of people don't know how to handle it, right? A lot of people just don't know how to handle all the information being thrown around in today's world. I mean, I don't even think humans are really supposed to be hit with this much information all the time. You know, back in the 90s, it was like you had to go seek information. You would see the news, or maybe you'd watch, you know, a TV show, but now it's just crap's coming at you 24 hours a day when you're looking at your phone. It's like you don't know what to think anymore. And this kid, he probably got, you know, mixed up in the minutia of all that BS. But all right, that's it for today. Be sure to like, subscribe, and we'll be seeing you